I have long felt that taking a walk is the healthiest human activity. So many good things we can do, but walking probably at the top of the list. I say you just look at the human body and you say, this is a machine that is built to move, and walking is the key motion. I say, take us anywhere we want to go, especially if we're not in a hurry. So last week, we did a couple sessions that I totally loved on exercise. Check those out if you didn't do it. I'm a big exerciser, love exercising. We're here in a fasting space on the channel talking about how fasting can be brought into our life in a gentle way, and we can use that to boost our health experience. Today we're going to talk about walking. Walking and fasting, so connected. You think taking a gentle walk, we say take a gentle stroll, right? We're not forcing ourselves anywhere. So many parallels with the fasting space, at least the way that I teach it and the way I want people to do it. A walk is a stress relieving practice. We say, do you ever feel it? If you're stressed, you say, I'm just going to take a walk. Walk out the stress. Don't you almost always feel better if you just take a walk? Today I'm saying take a hike because I'm going to be taking a hike next week. Going to be hiking away from an internet or anything. So no fasting space next week, coming back July 6th. But today, to fire myself up, fire everybody up, to make that week the most beautiful week. That's week 3 already of our challenge, leaning into summer weight loss as we're recording this, leaning into it whenever you are here on the replay. I say take a hike, okay? Take a hike. And by taking a hike, it can mean just taking a walk. So in the sessions that we did last week, we talked about some incredible physiology in the body, incredible science, I say, on exercise-induced appetite suppression, which is really an amazing thing. That it's like, yes, exercise helping us burn up energy, but as we dial into exercise, also decrease the appetite, help to regulate the hormonal structure of the body so that we're not so hungry. Help to normalize our leptin levels. Who has ever heard of that, right? So dive in that deep dive if you want to see that. Today we're going way down, pulling it way back, and to realize, okay, if we need some extra appetite suppression effect, lean into some more intense exercise, but look at this very gentle end. Maybe just walking through a hunger space is enough. Maybe it doesn't have to be that intense. And then as we bring it way back, we say, oh, it can just be a gentle flow. It doesn't have to be anything. The thing I love about a walk, just like what I love about fasting, nothing to buy. You know what I mean? No gym membership required. No expensive anything. And you can fit just as much into it in your life as you want. Just a little bit of fasting, just a little bit of walking. Start a habit or routine and let it grow and blossom into something beautiful. Today, I tell you a little story about the most incredible walking process that I saw so far, have seen in my medical practice. For anybody new, hey, I'm Dr. Z. Really nice to meet you. I'm an internal medicine physician, primary care doctor for many years. And then over time, I've just been leaning in more and more fasting-based practice. Now we're sitting here in this amazing space. I say simple fasting. If you're with me here in Wisconsin, I consult with you in my clinic, where it's fasting based, but I help you lose weight, optimize your metabolism in any fashion. And then a big part of what I do here in this space, we're meeting together, talking, sharing the love and sharing the struggle that is life as we are walking forward, hiking forward toward better health. Okay, here is one of the most fun experiences I had running a weight management program at the university. A patient I saw there. Gentleman had a very stressful job, he was retiring, came in for a consult. Say, I got to strike a different path in retirement, had struggled with weight for decades, and I just need you to help me, walk in a different direction, And so I have used the same framework for quite a long time, like we're talking about, 4 areas to focus on. Our mental health practices, we're going through it. And our healthy eating practices, overhaul the diet, get the processed food out. And I talked about, fasting space. They look at my clinical study. Here's the research we're doing. Here's like all the research around it. They're very interested. And I started talking about exercise that was, I could just see their eyes kind of rolling over. And I think they've been hit with, exercise so many times. And I said, look, exercise, you don't have to get a gym membership, right? You don't have to spend any money. Like, it could just mean taking a walk. And somehow in that moment, sometimes it's like we hear something. It's not like you don't know something and you could tell, but like right in that moment, this just resonated with this guy. He's like, just take a walk. And I had said, something like, open your mind to it. I think I said, what if you just became a walker? What if your new retirement plan is just taking a walk? Like, start every day and you could open up that space. Like, you got all this time. And what if you just open up that you could take a walk? Start small, start 5 minutes, Atomic Habits, your way there, no problem. I don't think we had Atomic Habits quite yet. When was that? I don't know. But that's the concept I've used for a long time. Start small and build it. Like, that's a beautiful concept. I was like, what if it was an hour? You could take your whole morning. You could just open up the whole space. And then we start to look at the physiology of walking, how this is putting us in this, zone 2, training. It's like we can still talk. We're not stressing ourselves, but think of the incredible flow that is happening. Look at we're trying to lose weight, right? We're trying to create energy flowing out of the body. Just do you picture it? There's energy in the body. We say, we can see it, right? It's part of us. We want to use this part of us, help it to flow out of the body. Okay, but now, look, we're eating. Energy is flowing in, energy is flowing out. There's a balance. It's like we I'm doing this work, but we're not losing weight. Okay, but energy, we got to balance that flow. Okay? It's like all of a sudden, look what happens. We stop fasting. This process stops. All of a sudden, that is coming out. The flow doesn't stop. See what I'm saying? Can you feel that in the body? Flow of energy. Heart is beating. Everything is working. Everything is running. All of a sudden, a fasting space, incredible flow space for this energy to be able to be released from the body. Now we're talking about speeding up fasting weight loss, right? Fasting, help you lose weight doing nothing. Fasting is nothing. And you can do nothing. Sometimes I say fasting, just the work of it is the work of doing nothing, which is enough, right? Just to sit in a space. Look, right now, I'm sitting in the space. I'm fasting. I've got a coffee. Grab a mug, simple fasting mug, send it to you, shoot me an email. Right now, we want to start increasing that flow, right? You want to speed up some fasting weight loss. Go from sitting in a space. What's next? Stand up. Take a step. Anyway, I'm explaining this to this guy. He's like, I see it. I see it. He's going to start to do it. I had no idea that what it would turn into. This guy listened. He thought it was a great idea. He said, I'm going to turn my retirement. I've got an open canvas, blank slate. He had no commitments, and he became a major walker. took the fasting elements, cut out the processed food, and started walking. I've never seen anything like it. He eased into it, absolutely eased into it. The idea, I don't even know that he had the ending idea to start with, but he just started walking. And since he had the space to do it, he kept ramping it up. And he started packing a backpack with water. And he had some backup snacks in case he needed it, which he didn't end up needing. And over the months, first 3 months, by the end of 3 months, and he was spending his whole morning walking, like 4 hours. He would get up and he would walk all the way from a coffee and water, and he would walk miles. I think it was like 3-4 miles. He would walk all the way till lunch. And this guy lost a lot of weight doing this. Oh, man. And then he's like, I just feel good. And he ended up switching in the OMAD, more waters in the day pack, and he stayed out of the house all day, 3 months, every day. Ended up walking like 8 hours, taking a hike. I couldn't believe it. I never told him to do this. But here's the thing. And the amount of weight that this guy had lost in 6 months, it's just unbelievable. It was basically like 60 pounds. And it was like 10 pounds a month walking on this path. Just flipped in. Started out the door. It's like, remember how, isn't it Lord of the Rings starts that way? Bilbo, he says something like, you never know about what happens if you step out your door. Where will you end up? There's some quote like that. I never saw that coming. And then that was just the start. 6 months. Oh, man. Opened up this space. And so nobody, this is the only person I've ever met in my life that did that. And so you don't have to do it. But I'm saying, whoa, look at how this opened up. It hit a seam. Sometimes I say what we're trying to do, find a flow state in our space, right? Which sometimes I describe like a little envelope, like a little pocket that we're trying to flow through. It's like sometimes you might think of that. This very much is like this process that we have of seeing our weight loss process, our health process, our journey as a creative process. People describe like someone who made a hit song, they say capture lightning in a bottle, like it just happened, it flowed in. Sometimes people describe, I didn't even do it. Like that came from somewhere else and we channeled it. And this experience that this gentleman had, to me, it felt like that. I was like, everything just kind of aligned in this moment. And to me, I've always looked at it as just like showing like, here is the type of thing that is possible. You just catch a seam and flow in that space. And you can almost just see the energy flowing. And it was just a powerful experience. Open up the fasting space. Water powering the system. I just think sometimes we were watching a little thing about some mini car. Someone was, had some electrolysis thing where they're splitting the water and running the little thing on hydrogen. And we're talking with the kids, why can't we have, cars just run on water? And I was like, well, look, they're putting a lot of energy into that. But think about the idea, right, of water being the fuel and just powering that whole process. You take a water and just look at the human system. You take a hike and look how far we power the body just in that calm, simple, free space. And then fasting, of course, moving into that. So zone 2, how do you know if you're in it? That's the type of thing. Taking a walk, we're not trying to high intensity train our way there. It means you can still speak to somebody, easy sentences, just like we're saying. We're taking a stroll. But all the time you're doing that, we're putting all the burden of that activity is going right on that fasting metabolism. Wouldn't have to be. You can take a walk after dinner, also so good. Like we said in some of that scientific literature, that you put a walk anytime, you put exercise anytime, it's just good for you. But you put it in a fasting space, can you see it's an extra special space, extra powerful, where as we train into it and open it up, it's like we're trying to unlock all the little locks that are keeping the energy trapped up inside of us. fasting, like one part of it, right? Maybe a walk, a gentle walk, another part of it. Clues to the puzzle, like I was saying. I was liking that session from back in the fall. Back in the fall, and before you know it, it's going to be next fall again. Man, the cycle of life, we are just on it, and the time goes, and it is so fascinating. So here we are in the summer. We are trying to set ourselves up before fall is coming in here, leaning into this space. We got the wind in our sails now. Do you feel that? I know a lot of people been increasing their activity in the summer. And here we are, week 3 of the challenge. And then here's like the beauty of it from my perspective, just as an analogy. Some open space, okay? Fasting space, taking some space. Let it breathe a bit and take a hike and do some digital fasting. This is what I'm looking forward to. If you haven't seen it, I got the video on the channel, Digital Fasting, which is just another concept and a way to try to get into a flow space. Say, get the distractions out for a while. Shut down the screens. So good, right? We can use all this incredible technology so that we can connect, center ourselves, and this is beautiful. But then also we want everything in balance. And I tell you, an internet-free week. I'm so excited about it. We probably have a little bit as we go along, you know. Some directions on the phone, but we're going to try to keep everything off and mainly hitting the trails. We're going to be doing so much hiking. And so I just inspire you, I hope, in the next week. Think of Dr. Z out on the trail. North Carolina, I'm going to be hiking through some Blue Ridge Mountains and stuff around Asheville and just getting out in nature and letting the energy flow, letting the mind settle. This is the thing I really want to lean into. If you are looking for inspiration in the morning, if you've been having value from these sessions, I would say take a week and dig into the archive and go back and maybe start way at the beginning, see where fasting space was. I mean, was it, I don't know, a year and a half ago did we start doing the live? I don't even know. Go back to the beginning and then just see the process. You know, you can go back to Dr. Z in 35 millimeters, all right? You know, so we got a new lens and I like the look better, you know? Dr. Z looking a little green sometimes and a little washed out before we fixed the lights and fixed the camera and fixed everything and learned so much along the way. So, but it's fun. So I go back, I watch some of those early sessions. I say, oh, but look at the thoughts in some of those are so beautiful too. Hit the archive. Let me know what you think of it. And do some thinking. Where would you like these sessions to go? I've got so many books. I've got so many ideas. But we can push it in any direction that you want. Just like we can walk in any direction. Love it. We're not stuck on a treadmill. You walk on a treadmill if you want. It's just fine. But if you can get outside, a cool early morning, that is the space that I would say is ideal, is taking us into the space, walking as a mental health practice. This is what I want most for you. Open up the wellness space with the walk. I think we get trapped so much. I think so much of the reason that a process in a gym, a classic thing, I love gyms. A gym's fine if you're in the good space with it. You just don't want to punish your way with it. And I say exercise should be a joyful expression. I say it should be a mental health practice. You can push yourself in that sort of space, absolutely, when it feels good, but never punishing yourself. So finding the edge. See, it's good to have a challenge. It's good to stress yourself, it's like create a resistance. And pushing against that, help the body to be strong, both in mind and body. And this is a beautiful thing. The exact same thing in a fasting space, right? Take a gentle walk, be just like a little bit of fasting. Now you can push yourself in that space. That's like training the metabolism. I like to think of fasting like weightlifting. Like how much weight can you lift? How much metabolic weight can you lift? Where you think about in the aerobic sort of space, like how many steps can you take on your walk? Say we're trying to get 10,000 steps in a day. That's a nice convention. I love that. Nothing magic about it. You pick, the level. Where are you at? I think there can be some value in counting it. If you got a digital device, if it can count steps, say, do I want to increase my total steps? I love it. I think it's good. You don't have to stress yourself out either if that is not your thing. Maybe you just want to say, hey, I'm going to just try to take some time. Am I carving out the time for it? Start small and lean into it. Wherever it goes, if it's like the one time I saw someone turn their whole life into a walking experience, what a journey. Man, I start thinking of that gentleman, and then how, think of people migrating. I always thought of that. Think of indigenous cultures migrating with the season hundreds of miles. I say, well, here we're doing it right here in Wisconsin. That's what I thought. I'm watching it. Man, we are traversing all of this space. Using the energy inside of us, finding the power. So amazing. And what a mental health space. Let fasting do the heavy lifting. There it is, in our weight analogy, right? Fasting strength is training in strength. How strong is the body at using the energy that is already inside of us, right? That is the strength. And if we're just starting out, you say, maybe it's not very strong. You say, hey, that's okay. Have some big time grace and gentleness for the body. But then we train it, just like we start lifting the little weights. Lift some bigger weights, open up that space. Now fasting is doing the heavy lifting. We got enough space to let the body really dive in and do some interesting things. Want to speed up the process now when we're in that space. We've opened up some space without food, stopped that flow in. When we're eating, it's the healthiest, most nutritious stuff that we can find, keeping the energy in the beautiful space. Now the energy's flowing out. Now we're taking a walk, and that slow, steady movement, that's the perfect fat-burning space. We need super high intensity energy. Okay, body, prefer to use some sugar to do that. We got sugar storage right in the muscles, and glycogen is in there, and it's like these big tubes of sugar in the body start whipping off little sugars out of it, and that maybe is, you say, I'm trying to set my personal best time in something. Okay, maybe there is a space to use a sports drink or something like that. But that's not a weight loss space right in that moment, right? If we're bringing in more sugar, more energy, you say, well, that isn't necessarily helping us in this process. So we try to get the sugar out. We're trying to burn through some of that in our cells. Then it's sending the signal, hey, you know what we need here? We need some long-term stable fuel. Okay, body's like, well, we got some of that. But see, it takes a process to release it. And then when we're walking, we're not spiking the demand. Say, muscle saying, oh, we could really use some sugar here. Oh, start burning this body fat. And so there's a balance to all of it. I say train yourself there. Don't hurt yourself, but you can do some high intensity stuff. Absolutely. But don't overlook the benefits of such a simple, humble practice as taking a walk. For some people, it's the only thing they ever did, and it's just incredible process. If I had to pick between the two, say if you could only ever do one or the other, you got to take the walk, that has got to be the foundation of it. What has your experience been? Do you find improved mental health when you're in a groove with walking? Is it a space where you can walk the stress out? And do you find that it helps your flow? What has your experience been? Have you leaned into it and found a benefit from it? Where are you at in the challenge? Let me know if you are working this process. What is your experience so far? 2 weeks. What has your experience been? Are you finding benefit from it, or are you finding struggle? Whatever you are finding, do let me know in the comments. Like I said, I might be delayed in getting to your comments over the next week because I'll be out hiking. But I will respond. And then we'll be coming back July 6th. Looking forward to it. Thank you for sharing this space with me today. I wish you the very best in this day, in the week to come, and in the time to come. Thanks for being here on the channel. And I look forward to continuing the conversation and the journey. We'll walk forward in health together. Have a great day, everybody.